And so the developers of Dark and Darker have stepped up a bit lately, but it hasn't led to the coveted new playtest or even early access yet, but perhaps that's the way? The path to early access. First, in the official Discord, Terrence, one of the members of the studio Iron Mace, shared the information that their lawyers in the US received a mole for 30 days. Apparently, the developers have reason to believe that this is a good thing. Terrence didn't share details, citing the same thing as before, a delicate situation. Nexon can use any public statements against Iron Mace. I could speculate that this might be Terrence's way of trying to let us know that, for example, Iron Mace has at least 30 days to properly prepare and launch early access, but that's just one of many hypotheses, not necessarily the case. Secondly, the developers have published the second video recently on their YouTube channel. On it they showed a map of the ruins and all sorts of new details. They showed a luck potion that gives you a 15% chance of finding rarer items. Whether this potion will remain in the final build, when exactly it should be drunk and other things is unknown. Iron Mace also made sure that the rogue class could not climb too high, to inaccessible places on the map of ruin. When hovering over the staff in the description was spotted Warlock. So there is every reason to believe that this magical class will be in the game sooner or later. Because of the names of the testers, namely number 6, number 14 and number 21, some people have made the assumption that this is a coded message about the release on the 21st. Also, the domain darkanddarker.com was purchased on the 19th, but it is unclear whether it was bought by the official developers of Dark and Darker or someone else. The site is not working yet. Beware of cheaters. Some players are developing another theory that the purchase of the domain is one of the last steps before the launch of early access. This theory is also supported by the fact that the domain darkanddarker.com is hosted in the same province as the official Iron Mace website. I remind you that there have already been cases of fraud through fundraising for the development of games similar to Dark and Darker. People were transferring money, and then the one who was collecting it just stopped contacting. So in any case, whatever appears on the site, look for confirmation at least in the official Iron Mace Discord. In addition to all this, there is another theory, according to which we will be able to play Dark and Darker sometime after the middle of July. In general, in fact, no one knows anything 100%, except the developers themselves. This is all speculation. In part, I guess you could say that even the developers themselves don't know everything 100% for sure, because who knows how the case will go in court. That is, they will be guided by the course of the case, by the circumstances. Naturally trying to tip the scales in their favor. The developers have a fierce grip on even those who are secretly invited to the ongoing closed tests. Everything is kept in the strictest confidence. However, the fact that the developers have the energy to post videos and keep working on the game shows that they have hope for a bright future. While some players have expressed frustration that potions of good fortune, map fixes, and a new class are all way too little for a new playtest or early access. Well, the previous playtest was indeed the worst of all, but we still had fun and we shouldn't forget that we got it for free. If the developers do not launch the game in the coming months, the publication of the video will mean that they record the exodus of users. This is understandable, it is legitimate. However, due to the lack of competition, when Dark and Darker launches, everything will go back to normal. The only question is whether the developers will have time to launch the game before there is a really worthy competitor.